Hello, Slicey Dicers. This is Brian with another Battle to the Death for you. Today we have the Spyderco Spydiechef versus the Drop Ray Laconico Keen. This is one that I've been really wanting to do for quite a while, but I didn't have a Spydiechef, and the Keen was kind of coming and going. Not anymore. It's pretty much available on the Drop site all the time now, so you can just go buy one if you're a member of Drop. And this is the new CQI2 version of the Spydiechef. They're available again, so I thought this was a really good time to do it. Both titanium frame locks, both roughly about the same length, as you can see. Both, I think, very similar to me anyway, in the ways that, like, in their purpose, I guess, because they are two knives that when I go to grab a knife in the morning, they are two that I have debated between before. So let's get to it. How do these things work? As usual, 7 categories: design and aesthetics, quality, blade, ergonomics, carry, deployment, and value. You get a point for each category you win, and at the end, we add them all up and we pick a winner. So let's get to it. Talk about these knives a little bit first. The Spydiechef, it's becoming kind of iconic, I guess, because this is in its 3rd version now that Spyderco, I almost called them, the Spyderco has made. Martin Swish design, made the Swish buoy, which everybody loves and wish would come back. Still hoping about that. But this was kind of the follow-up to that. He's also done some other knives for Spyderco, but those two are probably the most popular. Designed to be kind of sort of a folding chef's knife, as the name would indicate, but turns out to just be a damn good EDC. The Ray Laconico Keen, also becoming a pretty iconic knife. I think it's one of the best things that has ever come out of the Drop collaborations. I think it's a fantastic knife. Have always really liked it. Always really liked Ray Laconico's designs. Also, just a really good knife. You've got a LC200N and nothing that can possibly corrode on the Spydiechef. That's one of its unique things, is it is very corrosion resistant. On the Keen, you have S35VN titanium frame lock, a bit more kind of standard sort of stuff, ball bearings. This is running on washers. So, and this is made by Wee Knives, by the way, as a lot of things are, but both very well made. I think this is going to be a pretty good comparison. So I could see people debating between these two. Bit of a cost difference, though. $217 for the Spydiechef, only $150 for the Keen if you get the plain one. You can option it up. There are some more options and make it a bit more expensive, but $150 for the plain one. All right, let's get going with some specs, and then we'll get going with these scoreable categories. So we'll start out with the Keen, because that's the screen of my notes I have up in front of me. We have a blade length of 3.4 inches, overall length of 7.9 inches, blade thickness 0.16 inches, so actually fairly thick, which always kind of surprises me about it, because it doesn't feel like it's that thick. Handle thickness of 0.5 inches and a weight of 4.4 ounces if you get the plain one. They say 4.3 for the ones with the holes or the ones with the grooves. I find that this one with the holes is more like 4.2, so it's a little bit lighter than what they said. All right, now on to the Spydiechef. We have a blade length of 3.32 inches if you want to be really super ultra precise. I think I measure like 3.3. 7.7 inch overall length. Blade thickness much thinner, 0.12 inches. Handle thickness also thinner, 0.4, and a weight of 3.7 ounces. So a little bit lighter, a little bit thinner. All right, let's go into our scoreable categories now. We got all the stats out of the way, all that boring crap. All right, first up, design and aesthetics. This one is tough because the Keen is available in some really cool different versions. It's available with the holes, without the holes. It's available in like a purple. It's available in like a bronze. It's really, I want to give it to the Keen. There's nothing wrong with it. It's a very just simple, cool design, and if you like that, then great. I know it's unusual for me to say because I'm one of the most boring people in the world, but I just find the Spydiechef to be more visually interesting. It is a unique shape, and I don't know. I just like it more. I can't. I know this is the most subjective category, and feel free to ignore this one. I always tell people that, but I find the Spydiechef to just be much more visually interesting. Yeah, even with the speed holes and the purple and the bronze and all the other stuff you can get for it. Now, yeah, I gotta go with the Spydiechef on this one. I just can't. I love your Ray. I love your designs, but they're not exciting. This is at least interesting, unless you've seen a whole lot of Spydercos and you're just tired of that aesthetic. But I really do. Just a little bit more. Very narrow win for the Spydiechef in this one. I did go back and forth. Quality. Made by We. It's great. It's just like most of the stuff that We makes is. It's really well done. Have no complaints there. But this is a Taichung Spyderco. I have very few complaints with them either. And both of these were perfect. So I actually got this Spydiechef secondhand, so I can definitely attest that they did not know who it was going to, obviously, because this is somebody else before me. So I know it's not like that they sent me the best quality control one there is. And then I know that, as Nick Shabazz would say, and this one, it's been great. Like, they're both just, I have zero complaints quality-wise with either of them. They're both all perfectly centered. Both, all the stuff you want. Can't complain with either of them. You just got to call it a tie, because I just don't have any like flaws or complaints to make about them. As far as the blade, this one was tough. S35VN versus LC200N. So LC200N is a very unique steel because it's got a lot of nitrogen in it. It's pretty much corrosion proof. It's a really good steel as far as edge retention. It's not fantastic, but it's really, really good. S35VN, one of my favorite steels. Like, it's easy to work with. Edge retention is good enough. Corrosion is good enough. And I really, really went back and forth, but what finally did it for me. So this is the Keen is only about 16 thousandths behind the edge. You're looking at about 22 on the Spyderco, which you'd think would make, oh, well, this is definitely a better slicer. I do love the blade shape, just a simple drop point. I do really, really like that. But I like the blade shape on this also. It's really grown on me. This sheep's footy, chefy knife kind of blade shape has really grown on me as well. But what finally changed it for me was, as I said in the stats, just the blade on the Spydiechef is so much thinner. When you're doing longer cuts, which I do a lot, I cut through like long amounts of cardboard and stuff, you really notice it on the Spydiechef. It does slice better than the Keen. And that's kind of what pushes it over. I'm going to give it to the Spydiechef. Again, another kind of narrow win for the Spydiechef, but yeah, it just, I do just like it just a little bit better. Ergonomics, both are really comfortable. I don't really have any complaints. The Keen doesn't really have any, like, it just doesn't feel as secure in the hand, and you can definitely feel that pocket clip when you squeeze on it really hard. It is kind of, I think, an abnormally long pocket clip, and you do definitely feel that. Where on the Spydiechef, I just have no complaints with the Ergonomics. It feels, even though there's no jimping on it, it still feels very secure in the hand, and you don't feel the wire clip at all. Yeah, this one's a pretty easy one for the Spydiechef. So I know it seems like it's going on a run, but trust me, we're going to get to something that it's not going to win. As far as the carry goes, Spydiechef is lighter. The Spydiechef is thinner. The Spydiechef has a nice wire pocket clip, which is not nearly as hugely long as it is in the Keen. It doesn't have a flipper tab sticking out when you try and stick your hand past it. Yeah. Again, Spydiechef. Now, deployment. This is a no contest win for the Keen. I mean, running on washers versus running on bearings. Taichung Spyderco deployment versus We deployment. You know it's going to be the Keen. Infinitely better deployment. Nothing wrong with the Spydiechef. But it's not something you want to take out and fidget with all the time. It's just not that kind of knife. Never going to be. Can Spuddy flick it from the back, but I can't very well because the lock bar gets in the way, which is really annoying. I don't know what they could have done to change that, but yeah, you can, but it's not super easy. This is just not something you want to pick up and play with. The Keen absolutely definitely is. It is definitely a very fidgety factory kind of knife. Absolutely, for sure. Deployment and all that, and it makes that great noise. Also, the Spydiechef does not have a lock bar insert. Unsurprising, because they didn't want it to be anything that could corrode, so they couldn't put a stainless steel one in there. So there's steels they could have used, but that probably would have been very expensive for a high volume company. But yeah, I don't have any lock stick on this one. Interestingly, the guy who sent it to me said that it did when he sent it to me, and by the time it got to me, somehow it cured itself in the mail, because I've never had any. But yeah, I'm a very, 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 very clear win to the Keen for the deployment. Value. Also, unless you really need something that's completely corrosion resistant, all day long, the Keen. I mean, it's $70 cheaper, and arguably has more features other than the stainless stuff, other than the corrosion resistant stuff. Yeah, it's got way more features. It's $70 cheaper. Yeah, the Keen all day long. You get more color options, all that stuff. And you get a nice little bag for it. This just comes in your usual Spyderco box, which is a pretty crappy Spyderco. Come on, guys. Everybody else is up in the game with their packaging. You guys need to do it too. So where does that leave us? This is a rare case where I'm going to put my money where my mouth is. So it's a 4-2 win for the Spydiechef versus the Keen. And at the time I'm recording this, yeah, the Keen's for sale. So, I've already put it up on the Patreon. It's going to be in a for sale video tomorrow night. This video is going to go up long after that. It's probably in the mail on its way to another person at this time. Love the Keen. Still one of my favorite EDC knives, definitely. There's still a great knife. This is just comparing two great knives, but the Spydiechef has found its way into my heart. Since I got a loaner a while ago, and I really, really liked it. And then the opportunity came up. Somebody sent me this new CQI2 version, and he didn't really care for it and made me an offer I couldn't refuse, and this is mine now. And I've been carrying the hell out of it. I assume this is early November when I do, early December when I do what I carried the most in November. This is almost certainly going to be on the list. I really, really like it. And it's just really grown on me. I wish it was a little thinner behind the edge. I like it so much that I may send it somewhere and get it, have somebody sharpen it who's better than me and put a much sharper, lower angle edge on it, but probably not. I'm probably just going to deal with it as it is, but because it's still fine. But I love the ergos. I love the way it carries for the size that it is. I really like the look of it. Some people may really hate it. The whole chef's thing. I know I've had somebody who is a chef tell me that it sucks as a chef's knife. I think I actually use it like that all the time. I use it for food prep stuff all the time. I think it works. You can get down and cut stuff, on a flat surface like this. Love it. So for me, very clear win to the Spydiechef. And as I said, for once, if you're going to argue with me, I put my money where my mouth is. Sold my Keen. I'm keeping this. So you can't argue with opinions. And also, yeah, I did what I said. So hope you guys have enjoyed this. I've been Brian. Have a good one.